Hello everybody, Thomas here. Welcome back to SFF180. It is Monday the 2nd of November, and it is time for the mailbag, and it looks like a pretty hearty one this week. Well, what are we looking at? 10 packages, so it's a good healthy week. Gonna be a good mailbag. Sorry that the Halloween episode went up as late as it did, but I am very, very gratified that it has gotten such an excellent response. Thank you all so much. It was a bit more of an editing adventure than I anticipated, but it came out the way I wanted it to, that I was hoping it would. So thanks very much. Other administrivia, the BookTube SFF Awards live show, the actual ceremony, will be the 22nd of this month. That's a Sunday afternoon, and I believe it will be hosted over at Books and Pieces, which is Elizabeth's channel. So keep an eye open for that. I've got a lot of work between now and then to do, and I'm a little bit concerned because there are probably going to be some intrusions on my reading schedule in November. But I'll try not to allow that kind of thing to have too big an impact. Okay, so if you're new to the channel, here's the drill. These are the weekly review copies that I get from publishers. I don't know what's in these envelopes, so I open them here on camera. And then you tell me which of these looks most exciting to you, which you want me to prioritize in the review queue. Okay, so let's dig into it and see what we've got this week, shall we? Okay, and this first one is a shiny, silvery package from the fine people at Random Penguin. Sometimes when the envelopes are like this, it could be a young adult. And that is what it is. This is the third volume in James Dashner's series, The Mortality Doctrine. This is his follow-up, of course, to the Maze Runner trilogy, and now this one is complete. It's The Game of Lives, and it comes out on the 17th. An edge-of-your-seat cyber-adventure trilogy that includes The Eye of Minds and The Rule of Thoughts. I have all three of them, so if you'd like me to check this trilogy out, by all means, let me know. Only weeks ago, well, okay, again, don't want to give too much of a spoiler-packed synopsis because that's inevitably what it's going to be, being book 3 of a trilogy, but if you're a fan, November 17th for The Game of Lives by James Dashner. And this is a package from a little indie outfit, looks like, called Perseus Distribution. Alright, well, it looks like Perseus Distribution is handling Nightshade Books now, because that's who this is from. It's called Weighing Shadows, and it's a new novel by Lisa Goldstein, which is pretty exciting, because Lisa Goldstein was a very, very respected literary fantasy writer from like back when I was growing up, like the 80s. So she hasn't really been all of that prolific of late, but looks like she's making a comeback with this. It says, Anne Decker fixes computers for a living, and in the evenings, she passes the time sharpening her hacking skills. It's not a very interesting life, but she gets by until one day she's contacted with a job offer for a company called Transformations Incorporated. None of her co-workers have ever heard of it before. Seems legit. And when Anne is finally told what the company does, she can hardly believe it. TI has invented technology to travel in time. Soon, Anne is visiting a matriarchy in ancient Crete, and then a woman mathematician at the Library of Alexandria. But Transformations Incorporated remains shrouded in mystery, and when Anne finally catches her breath, there are too many troubling questions, all unanswered. Who are Transformations Incorporated? And what will they use this technology to gain? What ill effects might going back in time have on the present day? Is it really as harmless as TI says? And then, okay, it's starting to move into mildly spoilery territory. But this one, this says it comes out tomorrow, November 3rd, from Nightshade Books. Acclaimed author Lisa Goldstein traverses beautiful international scenes and those of history in an elegant, clever, and engaging way that reinvents time travel with a veteran's skill and the energy of a debut. This sounds cool. Yeah, her books include The Red Magician, and, okay, she had a book come out in 2012. That's still, you know, not super prolific. But Weighing Shadows, from Lisa Goldstein, Nightshade Books tomorrow. And another little Random Penguin package. Alright, guys, it looks like the novella wave continues with one from, are you ready? China Mieville, The Census Taker. This happens from Del Rey Books. This comes out rather expensive for a hardback, but it's going to be a hardback, but it's a novella. Well, 224 pages. That used to be an actual novel in the world of science fiction. It was very common, you know, when I was a kid, science fiction books would be mass market paperback, and they'd be 175, 200 pages, a lot of them on average, and they were novels. But I guess 224 pages gets you a novella these days. Anyway, comes out January 5th. For readers of George Saunders, Kelly Link, David Mitchell, and Karen Russell. Or China Mieville. Why do you have to mention those people? China has his own reputation. In a remote house on a hilltop, a lonely boy witnesses a profoundly traumatic event. He tries and fails to flee. Left alone with his increasingly deranged parent, he dreams of safety, of joining the other children in the town below, of escape. When at last a stranger knocks at his door, the boy senses that his days of isolation might be over. But by what authority does this man keep the meticulous records he carries? What is the purpose behind his question? Is he friend, enemy, or something else altogether? Filled with beauty, terror, and strangeness, this census taker, not the census taker, is a poignant and riveting exploration of memory and identity. All right, everyone. January 5th for New China Mieville. Might not be the new epic novel we're waiting for, but I'll take it. Kind of a neat week so far, filled with the unexpected, I should say. Well, I don't often get arcs from DAW, but this one looks really, really pretty. This is a new novel by J.C. Bedford, and it is the first in a new series. It comes out on the 2nd of February. J.C. Bedford has already written 2 books in the sci-tech series, Empire of Dust and Crossways, which were science fiction. This is the Rowan Kind series, beginning with Winterwood, a brand new alternate historical fantasy set in Napoleonic England. Set in 1800 in Britain, Mad King George is on the throne with Napoleon Bonaparte knocking on the door. Well, it's polite that Napoleon knocks. I think that's very diplomatic. Unregistered magic users are pursued to the death, while in every genteel home resides uncomplaining Rowan Kind bondservants who have become so commonplace that no one can recall where they came from. Meanwhile, Rosalind Tremaine that's a very 1800 England name, is satisfied with her life as a cross-dressing privateer captain on the high seas, but a bitter deathbed visit to her estranged mother changes her life completely when she inherits a magical Winterwood box. Now not only is she confronted with a newly discovered brother in the box, and an annoyingly handsome wolf shapeshifter, Rosalind has to decide whether or not to open the box to free Rowan Kind and right an ancient wrong, even if it brings the downfall of Britain. And they say if you're a fan of Elizabeth Bear, D.B. Jackson, Marie Brennan, historical. Okay, so Winterwood. Okay, February 2nd could be a really nice and a picaresque adventure, maybe. So let me know in the comments. Okay, Military SF fans, this is Starbound by Dave Barra. This is going to be Volume 2 of his series, The Lightship Chronicles. First volume was called Impulse. Yes, I have it. No, I still haven't gotten around to it. But I should do so, and I will do so. But this one comes out on the 5th of January. And I can't really, but it says he launched readers on a star-spanning journey of discovery, diplomacy, and danger in his debut novel, Impulse. And I can't really give too much in the way of a synopsis because, you know, book 2 of a series. But I do know that I am very, very light on military SF on the channel. I would kind of like to correct that. If you would like for me to take on Impulse and Starbound and do reviews of them, I will happily do so. But let me know in the comments. Starbound by Dave Barra, sequel to Impulse, comes out January 5th. Okay, this is one that's been making a little bit of fuss. It's Planetfall, new novel by Emma Newman. I've already gotten this digitally from Penguin, but they were kind enough to send a physical copy just so that I could showcase it for you folks on this program. But Planetfall, which comes out tomorrow, is the first novel in a new science fiction series. A beautifully crafted combination of psychological suspense and science fiction, Planetfall chronicles one woman's struggle against mental illness and her fear of losing the memory of everything she holds dear in an alien landscape. Renata Gali believed in Lee Sumi's vision of a world far beyond Earth that would reveal the truth about our place in the cosmos. She believed in it so much she gave up everything to follow Sumi into the unknown. Now that can't turn out well. 22 years have passed since Ren and a small group of scientists made planetfall on this mysterious world. Since then, a small colony has established itself at the base of an enigmatic alien structure where Sumi resides alone. Ren is the colony's appointed 3D printer engineer, creating the tools necessary for human survival. She also harbors a devastating secret. One day a stranger appears. He is far too young to have been part of the first planetfall, and he bears a striking resemblance to Sumi. The truth Ren has concealed can no longer be hidden, and everything the colony has worked for is about to be torn apart. All right, Planetfall from Emma Newman. This comes out tomorrow. Like I said, I've already got it in the queue, but maybe I should move it up a bit. What do you guys think? This is an arc for Blood in Her Veins by Faith Hunter. She's the author of the Jane Yellow Rock. that one. Urban Fantasy Series, and this is a collection of 19 stories set in the world of the Jane Yellow Rock series. So this comes out February 2nd in this must-have collection of stories. Experience 19 thrilling adventures from the world of vampire hunter Jane Yellow Rock, including many fan favorites and 2 all-new novellas. So if you're already a fan, you've probably read some of this stuff, but you now have it all in one place. Read about the first time Jane put the pedal to the metal in the early years, and etc., go on and so forth. Don't want to spoil things. But lots of stories here. If you're a fan of Faith Hunter, you'll be very happy to know that this is a huge book coming out, 560 pages, in trade paperback from Rock on February the 2nd. Okay, this is these big vacuum seal packages, but this one comes from Simon & Schuster. And this looks pretty neat. This is a new young adult novel. It is called Willful Machines. The author is Tim Florine, and it comes out... Oh, it's already come out. It came out on the 20th of October. Okay, well, let's have a look. In the near future, it says, scientists create what may be a new form of life, an artificial human named Charlotte. All goes well until Charlotte escapes, transfers her consciousness to the internet, and begins terrorizing the American public. Charlotte's attacks have everyone on high alert, everyone except Lee Fisher, the closeted son of the US president. Lee has other things to worry about, like keeping his Secret Service detail from finding out about his crush on Nico, the eccentric Shakespeare-obsessed new boy at school, and keeping Nico from finding out about his recent suicide attempt, and keeping himself from freaking out about all his secrets. Hey, great to have this kind of representation in young adult fiction. It's awesome. I just chuckled at eccentric Shakespeare-obsessed new boy at school. It's like the new crush always has to be this idealized, perfect kid. Okay, that's fine though. But when attacks start happening at his school, Lee realizes he's Charlotte's next target. Oh dear. Even worse, Nico may be part of Charlotte's plan too. As Lee races to save himself, uncover Charlotte's plan, and figure out if he can trust Nico, he comes to a whole new understanding of what it means to be alive and what makes life worth living. With Willful Machines, Tim Florine delivers an action-packed, high-octane debut that will have readers racing towards the end. All right, well, we got some LGBT-focused young adult fiction here. This is out from Simon & Schuster, Willful Machines. Okay, down to the last 2. Oh, here's one from Prometheus Books, a Pyre title. And it is the finished copy of The Geomancer. The authors are Clay and Susan Griffith, and this is a new series set in a universe of a trilogy that they've already done in the Vampire Empire trilogy, which takes place in sort of a vampire inhabited future Earth. Period. The uneasy stalemate between vampires and humans is over. Adele and Gareth, who are, I guess, the protagonists from the other one, bringing order to a free Britain, but bloody murders in London raise the specter that Adele's geomancy is failing and the vampires might return. So this is out tomorrow from Pyre Books, a continuation of the Vampire Empire universe from Clay and Susan Griffith. All right, last one. Oh, and this is a title from Melville House. Very respected independent press. Let's have a look. Oh, I asked for this ages ago. Very nice of them. They finally got them in and sent me one. Much appreciated. This is a new novel by Lavi Tidhar. This has already been out in the UK. It's been out for a while. It's called A Man Lies Dreaming. The US version comes out on March the 8th. It says it's a perfectly pitched, hard-boiled noir thriller, and the most shocking you'll read this year. In his radical alternate history, here we are, Tidhar brings life to a rainy atmospheric London in the 1930s and a troubled private detective with an unspeakable secret who roams its streets. Populated by British fascists and Nazis who have escaped from communist Germany, London is a dangerous place with an uncertain future. Wolf lives among the prostitutes, criminals, and down and out, a man haunted by visions of past glory and confounded by his precipitous fall. And then the next paragraph starts with, this paragraph contains spoilers. Thank you, Melville House publicist, for having that level of basic decency. But this comes out for March the 8th from Melville House. New, rather suspenseful-sounding alternate history thriller from Lavi Tidhar, an extraordinary writer that you need to discover if you have not already done so. And that's it for the mailbag this week. Really intriguing mailbag. A lot of very cool looking books. Unexpected stuff. Maybe not necessarily the most high profile releases that are out there, but You know, just because something's not being buzzed about all over BookTube and all over the book blogs doesn't mean that it isn't exciting and isn't worth your time. So what do you think? Let me know in the comments, light them up, and above all, if you enjoyed watching, please leave a like, share the video far and wide with all of your SFF reading friends, and as always, please subscribe if you haven't done so. That's how SFF 180 grows. So thank you all so much for watching, and until I see you guys next time, happy reading!